Amodu. That's my name. So you ought to clap for that. I just called my name in full and you're not clapping. So we're riding on to the second panel session, and let's have the bio recorded being played. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to move from the familiar to the fascinating. So, let's raise the energy in the room. What you're about to experience is a conversation about language, but not as you've always known it. This is language that thinks, language that's loud, and language that leads change. Our next speaker is a scholar who studied how meaning is made in everyday life, from classroom to comedy, from newspaper to mind, with a PhD in English and a specialization in humor studies. He has shown the world that laughter is not accidental, it is intentional, it is intelligent, and it is impactful. From the lecture halls of Lagos State University to respected journals across continents, from books to digital classrooms, his work continues to shape how English is used, taught, and understood. A linguist, a humor scholar, a discourse analyst, a public intellectual with the voice behind English for today, reaching learners across the world. Ladies and gentlemen, as we take this step from the ordinary to the extraordinary, put your hands together for Dr. Ganiu Banbushi.
Also known as Dr. Gab.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome a man of vision, innovation, and purpose. He is Taiwo Oladojoye Olayinka, popularly known as Ola Baba, a passionate innovator, educator, and entrepreneur, a graduate of physics from Lagos State University. Ola Baba is the founder of Built World Electronics, a rapidly advancing technology company established in 2016. His company is dedicated to technological innovation, training tech enthusiasts, and retailing electronic components, helping bridge the gap between knowledge and real-world applications. Beyond business, he is a man on a mission. Through his widely acclaimed annual program, Innovation Class, he has reached thousands of tech enthusiasts across Nigeria, igniting minds and shaping the future of technology. But it didn't stop there. As the team leader of Vision 50,000 Mission 1000, Ola Baba and his team are committed to training 50,000 tech enthusiasts across Nigeria in 1,000 learning institutions absolutely free. The training covers robotics, solar energy, and web development, empowering the next generation for a tech-driven future. With a strong foundation in faith and hard work, Ola Baba believes in putting God first and never backing down from challenges. His life mantra, the only easy day was yesterday. Now, with energy and excitement, let's give a resounding welcome to the one and only Taiwo Oladojoye Olayinka Ola Baba.
Welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Ladies.
We have one more person.
Action and powered by Popo. Our next speaker is not just talking about change. She's organizing it, managing it, and leading it. A dynamic public speaker, program manager, and certified SDG advocate. She works at the intersection of youth empowerment, education, gender advocacy, and sustainable development. Made history as the first female president of SDG Youth Club at Lagos State University. Led community-driven programs with the Leka Bakari Foundation and continues to shape national advocacy as the Gender Advocacy Officer with Nigeria's National SDG Student Council, a Millennium Campus Fellow, a WYSE International Changemaker beneficiary, and the founder of Skill Up Initiative. She keeps young people from marginalized communities with digital skills and the language of sustainability with focused applause. Please welcome Elizabeth Adepoji.
So here we have them, our elite panelists for today. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Well, before I actually moderate this session, I have a confession. Dr. Gab is actually making me shiver. You know, I have goosebumps all over me. I've watched his skits on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, and sitting beside him. No, I can't explain the feeling, but so I hope I'm allowed to feel that way, sir. I hope. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Mr. Alavaba, thank you. AMB, Ambassador Elizabeth, it's good to see you too. So let's dive into today's conversation. And the first question is actually for Dr. Gab. And the question says, from your experience in academia, how can students intentionally use the classroom, campus culture, and discipline of learning to develop leadership capacity and skills that translate into real societal contribution?
Right, thank you very much. I appreciate the warm welcome. As an opening, I'd like to urge my young friends to please be attentive. If you have all of us here come talk to you, I want to think it is something you should take seriously. Right, so how do you make the classroom and the university environment an opportunity to be the best of leader in the real world? I like to say that the university is a microcosm of the larger society. In other words, anything you are unable to achieve in the university, it becomes tougher to make it a reality in the real world, right? And so the point here is that whatever it is you want to do in life, make the university a testing ground for yourself. If you will like to be a politician, the university should be where you begin. If you would like to be a lecturer, the university is where you should begin. Tell me how you are not known in your campus fellowship and your goal is to be an evangelist in the real world. All right? Yoruba would say that Omotoba Magia Shamu, Kekere Lati Mashenu Shamsham. So the university is the best of the platforms, all right, where you can begin to manifest what you want for yourself in the real world. I therefore close by saying that anything you want to do, you have to start now. The biggest grace you have as a young person is the grace to start early. The biggest grace you have as a young person is the grace to start early. Do not forget, the best time to start was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So that thing you want to do, start it now before you get to the real world. Thank you.
Wow, wow. That was insightful, sir. Thank you, sir. So our next question goes to Mr. Taiwo, and the question says, how can students go beyond academic excellence to intentionally build leadership capacity and relevant skills that position them to create solutions and contribute meaningfully to society?
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. So good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
I want to say a very big thank you for having me here this morning. Thank you for the privilege. Mr. Joseph, thank you very much. All right, so I love this question because I'm picking out 2 points from it. Number 1 says that how do students move from academic excellence? That means that as a student, it is a must for you to be excellent academically. Yes or yes? Yes or yes? So, because now we are starting on a good foundation that you're moving from academic excellence, they're now thinking of leadership and what? And entrepreneurship. So number 1 point that I'm going to be giving you is that detect what your strength is. What do you have passion for? There are some of us that you love watching movies because of there's something that has to do with technology in it. There are some of you that you just like seeing people hold camera and all of those. So number 1 thing that you have to detect what you love doing. Someone like me, when I got admission into LASU, that's physics department in 2015. And also, I want to say something. They've been saying that doctor is wicked, also doctor is street. Since me, I got to know him, he used to be a gentle person. I used to even call him pastor since 2015, 16. So that's just by the way. So when I got my admission into physics in 2015, right, I found myself to be someone who loved technology. When my parents are not at home, I'll go and open the television, open the radio, open socket. I'll be doing all of those things when they're not around. right? So I just found out that I just love this thing, but I'm studying physics. So how do I balance this together? So I know that I have to graduate. Do you get? So it's not a matter of Orimi Ogbewe, but I like this thing. No. Orimi Ogbewe, but I want to do mechanic. No, 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 no. You must start with academic excellence first. Then you now detect what you have strength in. Then you now look for, doctor said something that the best time to start is now. Do you understand? As young as you are, you still have time now. You have a lot of time now, so you have to utilize it very well. So once you detect what you love doing and you detect your strength, number two thing is what? You get knowledge on it. So instead of using your YouTube to check a lot of other things, you can use it to learn. Do you get? When it is time for holiday period, you can do what? You can go to that fashion school and use the opportunity to learn. You can look for someone who does something that you are doing, maybe solar energy, robotics, building of drones. You can use that period to learn. Then the last thing I'm going to be saying is that after you have done a learning thing, then you look for solution in this field because every field has a problem. Right, currently now, I had a meeting last week with an investor who is trying to invest into using drone to deliver items. So now, I can order something from Science Complex now, and maybe Science Complex is part of this place. So instead of me using delivery guys, this and that, we'll just put inside the drone, then to carry it and to come back to what? The spot. So that is what we're thinking of, what solutions. Like in the fashion industry, we have issues of indecent dressing. And I also want to, I want to address, I want to acknowledge this person's dressing because I was looking at her when she was making video. That's decent dressing. Do you get? So we have people that wear short skirts, openly. So you can be good in that your fashion field and you can begin to address problem of indecent dressing. Do you understand that? So the next I'm going to be adding this as a point that when you are getting your knowledge, now, okay. So when you are getting your knowledge, know that you have double work to do. Do you get? So now, when you're getting knowledge, you have to think that you have to be a priest and you have to be a king. So what do I mean by you being a priest and being a king is that you have to be like a pastor. Do you understand? Just like we have our man of God, our pastor here. Do you understand? So you have to be a pastor. Then you now have to be a king by being the best in that field. Do you understand? Because if you say you want to be the best and you don't have the spirituality, when you get to a particular level, people will shoot you down. They will come and look for you that, where are you coming from? Do you understand? So you have to think of being a king and being a priest. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was insightful, sir. Thank you for sharing. Miss Elizabeth, can you share a failure or setback you experienced while trying to make an impact? And what it taught you about responsibility and growth?
Okay, so a failure or setback. First of all, good morning, everyone.
Morning, ma'am.
And it's great to be here and to be with other panelists. Well done, Dr. Gab. So, a failure or setback I have experienced before in the process of making an impact. I will share one, which was, there was this event that we put together. It was SDG Leadership Summit, the first of its kind. And I decided to host that event on campus because my predecessor was the initiator of that event, but due to different challenges, he couldn't host that event during his tenure. And then when I became the first female president of the last SDG Youth Club, I decided I was going to host the event. And myself and my team went everywhere, tried everything to ensure that we host the event in one of the finest hall here in Lagos State University. That's Femi Gbajabiamila Hall. And of course, we got the hall, we got to set up everything and all. But at the end of the day, we had, I think, less than 100 people in the hall. So for me, I see it as a major setback, right? In the sense that the hall we used can at least host 500 people. And this is something that we really want to make impact in getting more people to gain information into leadership as it has to do with the SDGs. But we couldn't achieve that. So I see that as a setback for me personally. And then what he has taught me about growth and responsibility is going all out, not only for things that we think matter in anything we do, to the tiniest details, you must always ensure that you get them done. Like, in as much as getting the hall was important, getting sound in the hall was important, getting even food for the participants was important, as well, as well is getting the participants to attend the event also important. And then I also, through that particular event, I also learned that impact sometimes is not also measured by the number of people that we get, but by the quality of the things we present to them. So, and for me personally, something that I really learned from, and I think that you can also take, whenever you're creating impact, ensure that you look at the quality over the quantity and do your best to get it done.
Wow, wow. Quality over the quantity. That's insightful. Thank you, ma'am. The next question is for Dr. Gab, and it says, what roles does networking plays in leadership development, and what mistakes should young people avoid when networking?
Okay, so what role does networking play in leadership development? I like to say unequivocally that the quality of your life is dependent on the quality of your circle. You cannot be better, you cannot be greater than the people who surround you and that you are surrounded by. So it is important that we pay a very serious attention to our company and our companionship. And as a code, I like to share this with you, young people. Everybody in your class is not necessarily your classmate. All right? So, as a formula, be selectively available. Be selectively available. Permit me to say it in my language. There is nowhere on planet Earth where success is the possession. In fact, it is never the possession of the majority. And so if you desire success, you have to be selectively available. And in being selectively available, I like that you also take note of this. Don't be a selfish person, but please be selfish about yourself. Don't be a selfish person, but be selfish about yourself. I'll tell you the difference. If you have a material that other members of your class can benefit from, but you choose not to share it, you are a selfish person. But being selfish about yourself is telling yourself that you have to read at 2 p.m. and then your friend wants you to go with her to see somebody. If you will not die going alone, my dear, I'm not going with you. That's being selfish about yourself. In grammar, we call it first person personal pronoun. I. You are the first person to consider in everything that concerns you. And so, be selfless, but put yourself into consideration and be very, very selective about your circle. Finally, the factor that now determines who comes into your circle should be who has your shared values. All right, so make your shared values the parameter in who comes. I tell my students, for example, if you decide that henceforth you will not speak Pidgin English again, you will begin to speak English because I've come to class to encourage you. And then you come tomorrow and then you see someone there, you say, oh, how are you? How was your night? This is someone with whom you've always spoken Pidgin. If the person says, oh, my night was great, that's your classmate. If you say, oh, how was your night? How are you doing? And the person, oh, Mumu, because they advised us yesterday. You already know this person does not share your value and they should not belong to your circle. So ladies and gentlemen, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your circle, so be selectively available. Move around only those who have your shared values with whom you want to get to the top. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Wow. That was very insightful. The next question to Mr. Taiwo. Okay, so one of our panelists just arrived and she's here. Please let us jam our hands together for the person of Mrs. Olutola Adekoni. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you for honoring our invite.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you,
get
Ma.
ready for your
So let's move. So for Ms. Olutola, let's just hand it over to her. How can students intentionally develop future-ready skills within the academic environment, including the responsible use of digital tools to drive positive societal impact?
Thank you very much for the question. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
And I'm sure we've been having a great time. So before I answer your question,
All right, ma'am.
I would like to apologize for coming late. So we have a big day at work on Monday, and we had a couple of meetings with developers. We are launching an app, and I'm very much on that project. That was why I came late. Apology accepted, yes or no?
Apology accepted.
Okay, so how can you develop future skills?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think I'll put it in that way. We are currently in a digital age, and one of the advantages that we have in this generation is technology. However, that advantage can also pose as a disadvantage when we get lost in the other side of technology. The other side of technology, like social media, we spend more time watching TikTok videos than videos that add to us. We have curated our algorithm in such a way that only video you see is dance video. You don't see videos that inspire you and motivate you. So one of the ways that I think we can all relate to in developing future skill is that be intentional about what you consume on social media. Be intentional about what you use tech to do. Things that you can do that would help you is you can do simple research on your Google, or the that we have AI, generative AI, ChatGPT and the likes. Go there and look for skills that are relevant for the 21st century, skills that will get you ready for the future. You know, you see things like critical thinking, problem solving, communication skills, emotional intelligence. World Economic Forum, they don't do that just because they want to push information out there. They are doing it for you to know the skills that are relevant to you. And the way you build them is to know them. If you don't know them, there's no way you will build them. Look for a mentor in that aspect that can help you to grow those skills. So the first thing to even do is to do research. What are the relevant skills for the 21st century? What are the skills that will matter in 10, in 5 years to come? And from there, your research will go from, how can I develop these skills? What are the courses that I can take? On ChatGPT, you can learn. I want to learn communication skills. Develop a course for me. I need to develop it for you. Take advantage of free courses. So we are at a point where we should prioritize learning. Please, outside of your classrooms, whether you are in uni or you are in secondary school, prioritize learning. Learn, use technology to learn. On Instagram, follow people that are teaching those skills that you need. People that inspire you, so that your algorithm, that is what Instagram pushes to you, will be things that help you. So I've talked about research, I've talked about making good use of the technology. And one good thing that I heard when I entered was moving with people that's of the same value with you, because you also learn from them. It is not just learning from mentors, it is also learning from your peers. Some of the things I'm doing now, it is because I was able to see some of my friends doing those things. So I had to research on it, the relevant skills. And to some extent, I can say I can position myself as a product manager or a data analyst. Why? Because I'm making of the technology. So if you're not taking anything out of everything I have said, what you should take out is research relevant skills. Type it on Google. What are the relevant skills for the 21st century? You can even go deep down and say, according to the World Economic Forum, what are the skills that will be relevant in 5
The first contract, because people, B2B, I was like, oh, went to a B2B, I was like, oh, went to solar now. So then they gave us a contract. I did not say about solar. After getting the contract, I didn't read about it. I did physics now. There's solar physics, this and that. So do you not know what I did?